Well, no. See, my thoughts are very mixed on this. The fact that there's a curfew put in place is, I'm a former player, you will never, ever convince me that a curfew is a good thing. It's ridiculous that they even did that in the first place. And I understand why they did it, because they're trying to paint a good picture to other people, to a PR side of it. That doesn't work. I think they'll learn a lesson, the ECB, from that we shouldn't have done that at all. We should have come out, sat down and actually talked about what we're going to do as a culture and make sure we're moving forward. But just to put a midnight curfew after winning a test match, the day you're not allowed to celebrate winning a test match for your country is a dark day. Maybe the players could be a bit more savvy and celebrate in the dressing room, which is what I used to like to do. And in the hotel, you have to realise there are cameras out. I don't think Ben Stokes has done anything wrong here other than go against a rule that shouldn't have been implemented in the first place. So, but, you know, I understand why there's a backlash. There's a lot of people who seem out to get him at the minute and seem to want him gone. But that's England. We love to do that. We love to build people up and knock them down. And a lot of the people I see sort of calling for his head and wanting him to go are the same people cheering for him when he got Sports Personality of the Year a few years ago. So the madness of the UK prevails.
And just, would you say, as a captain, he could have possibly just sort of been a better example, or maybe not get into that bust-up or melee, would you say? I mean,
I don't know the story, what happened. No one knows the story, so I'm not even going to comment on that. Like I say, he celebrated winning the test match. I have no issue with that whatsoever. I do have a massive issue with the team curfew at midnight after winning a test. Before a test, fine, you shouldn't drink before or during a game. As a professional athlete, you shouldn't be doing that. But that doesn't need writing down on a piece of paper for me.
And I mean, so the axe has fallen on him in the second test against New Zealand. He's been dropped, and well, sort of captaincy. How do you see his captaincy future now?
I don't know. I hope it's not the end, because he's the best captain we've had, arguably since Andrew Strauss. Alistair Cook's not going to like that. Sorry, Cookie. But I think he's a very good man manager. And leads by example. He really does lead by example. That's where he's let himself down. I mean, he'll hold his hand up and say, you know, shouldn't have done that. But it just shows what they thought of this rule in the first place. If you're implementing rules that aren't sort of a popular thing within a group of young men, I don't know. It's such a shame, because it was a brilliant win on a terrible pitch at Lord's. And for England to win that game after the winter they had that was horrible in Australia. It was time to move on, but it's sad.
Let's just say if the ECB, do let go of someone like Stokes, do you think England realistically can replace, what Stokes brings both on and off the field?
Well, the problem is on the field we haven't got an all-rounder anywhere near Ben Stokes. I mean, there's just not one out there. And what he brings with the bat and the ball, I don't think there's a single all-rounder in the country who even comes close to that. And we've got some pretty decent county all-rounders. Ben Stokes is an enigma. He's a world-class fast bowler who swings the ball. We don't have a swing bowler. No one has swing bowlers in the world. Ben Stokes swings it both ways, takes important wickets, vital middle-order runs. So he's irreplaceable on the field, I think. And as a captain, he's been brilliant. So forget about off the field. I hate talking about off the field, because I'm a former player and I like focusing on the game itself. But yeah, it would be a real shame. I think, he's been left out of this test match. Who's that for? Is that for the team's benefit, or is it to try and appease public opinion? I don't know. Well, I do know.
Well, I mean, just final one on the Ben Stokes saga. I believe you do back him through thick and thin through this whole period. I mean, but what kind of message does his axing send?
I don't know the story about what's actually gone on. So if he's gone out celebrating a victory after a test match, I have no issue with that. I'm a former player, like I said. I don't agree with curfews after winning. I agree with being sensible and being grown up and being treated like an adult during a test match. But once you win that test, I think it's a very sad day if you're not allowed to enjoy it with your teammate. I think the lesson learned is stay in the change room and enjoy it between yourselves. What's the point of going out? You can't do it these days.
And I mean, it does in hindsight. I mean, you would think that why would you want to curb the players their freedom, right? I mean, in a way like, you're just...
Well, think of it from another angle. Think of who recorded that, and think of who sent it to a newspaper trying to make money. This is what happened to Ben Duckett in the winter. Who recorded it and sent that? This is supposed to be an England fan, and they'll pretend, they'll say, oh, we're doing it because we love our country. No, they're doing it to try and make money. And the culture we live in at the minute, where try and desperately film someone doing it and knock them down put them in the newspaper. I think it's a sad time we live in. I really do. I think, you know, England are playing in the Football World Cup at the minute. If they win that Football World Cup and went on a 10-day bender, we'd celebrate that as a country like you wouldn't believe, and we'd say this is brilliant. And then someone would remind them of Ben Stokes and go, well, oh, no, but it's different. It's not different. Right. It's the ridiculous nature of the world we live in at the moment.